Hey howdy, this is Gary from Pathways Homestead, and I'm making a mess today. I'm making cornbread today. We are making a recipe of pumpkin cornbread. And we are using, this is a Seminole pumpkin that we raised in our garden. They're a small native pumpkin. And I have steamed it and pulled the guts out of it and the skin off of it, and there it is.
Something you should know that I noticed on one of our chat forums this summer, some pumpkins have the consistency of a spaghetti squash, and this pumpkin's one of them. It's real stringy and got that consistency. It will not harm what we're doing. I am going to smash it up a little bit because you want it pureed. So I'm going to break up those fibers while he is mixing the rest of his ingredients.
Okay, our recipe, we've used this recipe before. We've got it written down here. At least we think this is the one we used
And
before.
tell me where that's from.
Where was it from?
Shotgun Red.
Oh, we got this recipe off the Cooking with Shotgun Red YouTube channel.
And I'll put a link to it in the top.
Yeah, and we've used it a couple of times and we think it's really good. So, and we make our own substitutions and do whatever we want.
Yep.
I do what I want.
I'll do whatever I want.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So am I using this for flour?
If they want to. What do you want to use for flour? Don't use this. Okay. That's liquid maybe. It's a little bit different.
1 cup. The first thing it calls for is a cup of all-purpose flour. I've made cornbread. We've made cornbread without any wheat flour in it. But usually if you want a softer, more bread-like cornbread, you need to have some flour in it. So this calls for 1 cup. Of bread flour. And then it calls for a cup of cornmeal. Yep, that's usually half and half. That's pretty typical.
Yes, it is. Oh, we need to preheat our oven. What temperature do you need?
It says 375, so it'll be 385 in our oven.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a cup of cornmeal. Teaspoon of baking powder.
Teaspoon? Tablespoon. TB.
Okay, tablespoon. I was reading the one below it.
Yep, if it's capital, it's tablespoon. That's how I have to do it. And so
Tablespoon of baking powder. Make sure you use baking powder, not baking soda.
it'll still turn out, but it'll be awful salty.
And then salt. Teaspoon of salt.
Just about got your pumpkin pureed.
Alrighty. So we got a teaspoon of salt. And half a teaspoon of pumpkin spice.
Gary's mom bought that at the Amish store pretty cheap. We already had it. We didn't have to make up our own. But you can make up your own pumpkin spice. Find recipes online. Tells you how much of each spice to use to make your own pumpkin spice.
Maybe only she paid 75 cents for this one.
Mm-hmm.
So half a teaspoon of that. And then half a cup of brown sugar. I laid everything out already, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Half a cup.
It's this one right here.
Yeah.
And now you want to press it down in there. Unless it says otherwise, it's usually packed. You want to pack your sugar. And that sugar's kind of weird. It's from Aldi. And the grains were real coarse.
Yeah. All right. There we go. And then 2 eggs. So I'm going to stir this up.
Oh, you don't forget you have your butter in there. Or is it not in there? It's in
Not yet. Not yet. I haven't put it in here yet.
Oh.
I'm going in the list of the
Oh, you're going in the
order of the recipe.
For some reason, I got sidetracked and thought you put it in already. I'm sorry.
Stir this all up.
It's your dry ingredients. Mix
Yep.
all your dry ingredients together.
Some recipes specifically tell you that, but it's a good idea. Usually mix all your dry and then add your wet. Okay, now we're going to add 2 eggs. Half a cup or 1 cup of pumpkin. A cup of pumpkin right there. While she's doing that, it calls for a 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. We add a 1/3 cup of melted butter instead of vegetable oil. We kind of avoid some seed oils if we can, and we'd rather use animal oils, so we're going to use butter in this one.
In case you need that to get it out of there.
Okay, now here we go with the pumpkin. 1 cup of pumpkin. Well, that smells good. That's a good smelling, good dark pumpkin, isn't
Yeah,
it?
the Seminole pumpkin.
Yeah, and what we like, the Seminole pumpkins.
You have about 1/4 to a 1/2 cup left too.
Alright, we'll figure out something to do with it.
Yeah.
And then it calls for 2 tablespoons of honey. Did not get the honey out. Okay. Two tablespoons of honey.
We will stick that in an egg. I'll put them in the trash for you.
2 tablespoons. half a cup of buttermilk. Do I use this?
You can. Mm-hmm.
Or do I just use that one?
You can. Either one.
Either one?
I'll move this stuff around so you don't have to look at it.
Gotta wash all this anyways.
Yep.
So instead of buttermilk today, we're using Mousse milk. I caught a wild moose and I milked it. And so that's what we're going to use today. Actually, this is soured milk that we had in our refrigerator that kind of went sour on us. We're going to use that. Now we're going to mix it all up. And what you do with these recipes, sometimes if you don't get everything just right, you don't have enough moisture, you kind of look. And like if I mix this up and think, man, that's not wet enough, I'll add a little bit more milk. If I think it's too wet, I'll add just a little bit more cornmeal.
Or flour.
Or flour, yeah.
Or a mixture of both.
Yeah. But I think that's looking just about right. Nice kind of stiff batter.
And he has prepared his pan, and he's buttered it already, so it's ready to go.
We got a cast iron pan, and I just took the wrapper off of butter and wiped it all around in it. And got it all buttered.
And just in time, your oven's ready.
All right, so we're going to pour this in there, right?
Yep.
Kind of even that out in the pan. We don't if you fill your pan up, it's too full. We want it about half or maybe even a little less.
3/4.
Yeah. And that's about half full right there. And that's about right because this will swell up. Get all swole up when it cooks.
It's gonna rise.
Oh, it's gonna rise. Rise and shine, sleepyhead. And that's due to the reaction of the baking soda and the milk. Causes it to rise, right? Puts off
And the
gas.
sugar.
Gives it gas.
Which is honey and not sugar this time, but yeah.
We put brown sugar in here too.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, we did.
Something was still kind of dry there.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So we're going to put that in the oven. We've preheated our oven at 375 degrees. Put it in this greased cast iron. And now we're going to put it in the oven. I'm going to put it in there. Ta-da! Oh, and now it's going to cook in the oven for a minute. Or maybe more than a minute. I don't remember how long it cooks. Do you? Huh?
Look at your directions.
30 minutes. It's going to cook for 30 minutes. And so you see the time, 11:37. At 12:07 we'll be done. Should be done. So, all right, we're going to let that cook for a little while. Y'all hide and watch. All right, we're going to check and see if our cornbread's done. We'll get it out of the oven if it's done. Yeah, I think it's done. Done ate. we have already eaten this cornbread. It was really good. Sorry y'all missed it. But hope you enjoyed this recipe. And remember that God made you special and He loves you very much.